was chilling with one of our barber, right, yesterday, and he does this business of used shoes.
Used shoes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what they do is, apparently in America, they are churning out new products quickly, and if a product stays on the shelf for more than 3 months, no one buys it, they ship it off to Africa. So then we buy them, because for us it's still great condition.
Good, yeah.
And it's the same with tech.
Yeah, exactly. And something that just shows that is at Macalester College in St. Paul, where I'm living, we actually have a quite a decently sized building that is just a second-hand clothes and shoes mall sort of thing.
Really?
Yeah, it's because even just the population in Macalester, we have about 1,700 people. The amount of waste and things that are good to use for another person that are churned out quickly.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. And for a community that small, when we then take it on a big scale to see 350 million people, it becomes much bigger. This is just 2,000, and we have it was like an old church that no longer is a church, and that whole building, they use it for just that. And so a lot of organizations come in with these big trucks, and they take these things for free. And then they're the ones that then sell it to you sometimes. They're the people who then ship it to Africa, add a markup, and then you get the clothing here this way. Same thing with tech, very possible.
I've heard a lot of people say that America is so big that you only understand how big it is once you get there. Could you please share your story of at what point did you realize how big America is? Coming from Zimbabwe, then South Africa, and then the United States.
Well, the first time that I really got introduced to the scale at which America is, I'm not going to lie to you, was actually on my way there.
Okay.
So if you look at my journey, my flight path started off in Harare, Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport, and we flew to Nairobi, Jomo Kenyatta Airport, and you could see the standard of living shift a little bit. We then flew from Nairobi to London, Heathrow, and we landed in Heathrow, and I could see the shift in sort of the standards of things. Like, if you look at the cleanliness in the airports, if you look at the speed of the Wi-Fi, you could see that, okay, this is now something different.
Yeah.
Even just the waiting times, in as much as they had a lot more people, they managed them a lot better. But I really knew the scale of America when I entered into the plane, the Delta flight that took me to Minneapolis, America from London Heathrow. Just the first two flights that I had, the size of the airplanes it was like a tube. It was like you fit 5 people in a row.
Would you like bigger than Fly Safari Fastjet?
Slightly bigger than that one. Okay. But then like the Fly Safari that we went to Cape Town with the 3 people on this side, 3 people on that side, that's the level that we started with. But when we got to the plane that goes to America, it was 3 in the middle, 3 on this side, 3 on this side, and it was like so big. It was very big, and it was packed. That's when I understood, okay, there is a demand for this place. There's something going on in this place.
Yeah.
And so just arriving in the country for the first few days, it was like getting an experience of something that you have seen online. Because what I've understood is that Americans have done a great job at permeating the industry, the people through Instagram, through TikTok.
So you're saying when you got there, it's like you've already been there.
Exactly. It feels as if it's easier to integrate because you already know the norms and the standards. You already know what happened. For example, with the Black Lives Matter thing, what's his name? George Floyd was actually brutalized in the state that I went to. Yeah. So it's like one of those things where you saw it online, but then when you're actually in the place, it's interesting to see how it develops. And it's been fantastic. I would say that just like with human beings, they're good human beings and human beings that are discriminatory.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where, as a black person, if you're planning to go to abroad in general, you have to be strong. You have to mentally be able to take it because it's not as it's a dream for a lot of people, but it's not as easy as a lot of people think it is.
And when you say that, I've heard a lot of people say that you can live your dream life in South Africa or in Africa. You don't have to go to these other places. But I know a lot of people that have this desire to compete at the global stage.
Of course.
So for a black person who's going to, as a black person who was going to America, did you feel out of place in some points? Did you feel like you're not wanted here or you don't belong here? Or is the black community in America, or let's say in Minneapolis, because that's, I mean, America is really big.
Yeah.
You can't generalize the whole country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job at that. Because I'll tell you, I've met Americans from all over the place. They're different.
So it's like a huge continent.
It's a big continent. You definitely do feel a certain type of way, but then something you have to understand about America is people from all over the world come to America. And so it's one of those things where you meet people from literally all over the world in the country as well. So you're not alone. You're not going to be alone. That's the thing. So the best community that I personally have found is the community for Africans. So Africans who have migrated to America tend to form a big bond together. There seems to be, in my opinion, a slight divide between the Africans and the African Americans that have been in America for a long time.
How so?
So
I mean, you mean black Americans?
Black Americans and an African that has immigrated. In as much as, yes, we definitely are tied and linked, still there is a difference in terms of the culture. It's harder to connect with them because culture of Africans, we understand each other as Africans as compared to they have different views and values. And
Are they like more Americanized?
I feel like the situation of slavery that happened, that America was built on the backbone of slaves that were, all of them were black. And so there's that experience that they have gone through generations that we as Africans haven't really. Yes, we had colonization, but slavery in the way that it was done in America, especially in the southern part of America, is something that we have never experienced. We've always been majority. We've always been able to get what we wanted. We're in a better scale. And as much as a lot of people would say in Cape Town, race plays a big part in where you are, you still have more power as a black person here than you do in America. So that's just a thing.
Wow. And for you, the culture shock coming from Africa, going to America, how was that?
Honestly, for me, I was blessed that I already went to an international school before this. I've been to the United World College of Southern Africa, and so that's in Eswatini, and that was sort of a little preview of what America would be like, because in that school we had people from all over the world as well, about 73 nations, all in the same place, and it was very Americanized. I saw the influence that America has on the world. Now that I've been in America, there are a lot of things that are there that I'm like, I already know this. I already know how this goes. And it just goes to show the influence that they have over the world in terms of the culture right now.
Yeah.
I think them owning the entertainment industry is something that has done a lot. And what's funny is when you look at tech advancements, it's all in America, but then they don't share those as much as they share their culture.
Really?
Think about it. I mean, some of the tech that I've heard is in America. They have these, I don't know if this is classified information. I just heard that they have these drones that literally fly so high in the air that you can't see them with your human eye, but then they are constantly and simultaneously tracking each and every single person who is outside in the city.
Wow.
To the second. And so this is sort of like a trial for a security system that they plan to implement. Who knows, maybe you should get right with Jesus Christ whilst you still have the time.
Right.
But technology like that, things like that are not things that are normal here, things that are shared here as much as they share their TV shows. You've heard of the Super Bowl now. I mean, you never cared about that, but year in, year out, it's now getting more and more important even outside, as well as just gender norms in general of people and the way that it's being transpired, ideals are transpired into Africa, you can see that America has a big push that they're pushing towards everyone else, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That is true. America is the capital city of the world, basically. These clothes that we're all wearing. I mean, I'm wearing Real Madrid because tomorrow is Champions League final.
Nike is America.
Everything is America. Everything is westernized, and then
Yeah.
it comes to Africa
Apple.
last.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so that's what's surprising about seeing tech being more expensive here. It's like, but that's where it starts. It should be more expensive that side, but then you see that where it ends, even though it comes here sometimes second hand, it's more expensive. And that's something that I feel like maybe they're gatekeeping, maybe it's something to control the power.
Yeah.
But to think about these minerals being taken from places like the Congo or in Rwanda and DRC, it's something that makes you wonder if, you know, it's really worth it, all this consumption and being driven like this. This is why I see the difference in us as people, the Ubuntu that we have. In as much as now it's getting a bit more cutthroat in Africa, at the same time, it's easy to say, sure, bruh, let's talk. Whereas
Yeah.
that side, it's not really the same. It's not really the same level of openness. There's something called Minnesota Nice, only found in my city, where people are nice to you regardless, but even if they don't trust you or don't think you're a good person, they're nice to you regardless. It's something in their culture.
Is that
That
a
makes
good
it
thing?
easier. It makes it easier for you because they're going to smile, they're going to say hi, but you don't know if they really mean it. And so things like that, you know, and that's not your fault. You can't control that. You can only control what you look like and how you present yourself as a person. And so it's up to them to then receive you in a way. And so that's what I've understood. People receive people in different ways, and as Africans have a special way of receiving guests. Like when a guest comes to your house, you offer them water, things like that. That's there as well, that side, but then it takes a time for the guest to be accepted in the first place. So
What are some of the things that America does well, a lot more than Africa?
Well, okay, there is also a lot in that regard. I would say, firstly, load shedding. For the whole 9 months that I was there, I never had a second where I didn't have access to electricity. Load shedding just does not exist in America.
Okay.
The second thing that I would say is the transportation systems are a bit more connected, a bit more advanced. They have bigger reach, they're faster, they're more efficient. Things move at a quicker pace in America than they do here. The level at which deals are done, the ease of sending
Really?
money, things like that. It's just, everything is very instant. I'll say America does a great job at providing options. In terms of food, your menu is just, the possibilities are endless. If you wake up saying, I want to have some food from Brazil, you're going to be able to find food from Brazil. It's just, it's so big and so vast, the resources that you have so many options. And you can really sort of like plan your life to say, I want to do this, this, this. That's something that a lot of youth here lack, like that access to be able to be flexible, to say, I can go to a cooking school and then the next day I can go to a theater, the next day. It's like everything is there. And so it's just a melting pot of opportunity that gives you that drive to do more, you know? Another thing that I've realized is America rewards smart people. It rewards people who put effort. That's something that if you have a plan and you do your plan well, they reward handsomely.
How?
Just in terms of the amount of money that's flowing in the economy, it's not very hard to tap into that economy. An example I would give is being awarded the Zia and Pretty Innovation and Impact Award from Macalester College. Was that something that, you know, yeah, you apply, but then they reward you for your efforts. That's another thing, and that's access is something that's lacking here in Africa, is what I've seen as well. And so if you just, in America, if you put your head up and say, I want to play, you will get an opportunity to play. That's
Unlike
something.
here.
Yeah, here it's more, who do you know? I mean, who do you know is everywhere, but it's more who do you know. And that side is just walk around a little bit and opportunity will be knocking at your door quickly.
Interesting. Thank you so much for bringing that up, because you speak to a lot of people that are very capable and talented here in Africa that want access to these opportunities that you say are flying around. Is there something that you as Laurice Jimu or Melsoft Academy are working on to give access to these amazing opportunities to people here in Africa?
So 100%, one of the things that we have coming up is actually a webinar where we're going to be inviting Mr. Rob Simperman from Launch MN. Launch MN is basically a government-backed organization that helps people launch startups in America. And so we're going to be doing a webinar to invite all of you to come and learn how to start your own business here without ever stepping foot in America. And so that's something that us as Melsoft try to give to the community, to you. You're not going to be charged to come. You can all come. You're invited. And so hopefully that gives you an opportunity to tap into the minds of the people who've already made it. Because what I understand, and I say this every time that I'm on a podcast, you're the average of the 5 people that you spend your time with. And so if you are constantly engaging with people like Rob Simperman, like Mr. Larreth Jimu, like myself, you are only going to keep on improving and get to a point where things are now working. And so that's something. We also have another membership plan in the pipeline. That's very exciting. You're going to have direct access to us. You're going to have direct access to a lot of people that are influential. I'm talking people that make decisions that will probably change your life in the tech industry. And so that's also exciting. That's something we're doing. And yeah, I think that answers your question.
It does. Brilliant. Thank you so much for that, for those 2 brilliant initiatives. I'm one of the co-founders, of course.
Of course.
It's great to hear it coming from someone else about these interesting initiatives. So let's talk about you, right? You've been sharing stuff about your journey and all that. How did you, Laurice Jimu, get access to study in America on a full scholarship? How did you do that? And how can someone else who's maybe 18, 19 years old who wants to also study in America, not just America, let's say Europe or Australia or these other first world countries, how can someone also get access to these incredible opportunities?
That's a really good question. I would say that if I'm being honest, if you would ask me that I was going to be here when I was maybe age 12, I wouldn't have been able to like visualize it. The way that it's just happened has been so beautiful. And honestly speaking, I owe that to the creator of the universe, God, my God. And so Jesus Christ has been the center of my life, and him being the anchor of my life, it's sort of like I never saw it coming, but it's been exceedingly something that's happened. So I'm just going to say that as a first statement before I get into like the technical nitty-gritties of how I actually got there. I feel like if you put your faith in God, things work out. And I hope that I live as a testimony to a lot of people who doubt God, who have questions for God. If you draw near to him, he will draw near to you, even regardless of what happened in your life. So in terms of how I actually got to America, my path was a unique one. And that's why I introduced God first, because it's something that I don't think a lot of people can replicate. So I went to one of the best high schools in Zimbabwe academically. It was called St. Ignatius College, 100% pass rate sort of school. And when I was there, I was leading as a junior prefect when a certain Miss Mugadza came up to me. She was the technical graphics teacher at the time and said, "Laurice, we have an opportunity for you. Come, let's talk." And I went to her office and she told me about Star Leadership Academy, this revolutionary school in Zimbabwe that teaches people entrepreneurship, public speaking, all the skills that you need for you to thrive that are not taught in biology and chemistry and math, your core subjects. And so from there, I applied, and God willing, After an interview process, I got in. And this was with about 70 of the brightest people in Zimbabwe. There were over 1,000 applicants. Very hard school to get into. And I took that gap year, 1 year, during the 2020 COVID time. That's what I was doing. And after that, I got access to apply to Waterford, the UWC school. And upon getting into the UWC school, it's basically said that at some point you're going to get offers from American universities, because the United World College Network is something that is on an international stage on its own. You have schools in 18 different countries all over the world that are all aligning to form one allegiance with the United States and places abroad. And so that's how I then applied. But honestly, through each and every single step, it was just, if God wills it, it's going to happen, you know? And so that's why I say, I can't really say that my path is something you can replicate, but just that trust in the Lord. So for some people, it might not be for you to go abroad. Your impact might be in the next city, you know? And a lot of people don't realize that, and they have this shiny object syndrome, where you see something that you don't own that someone else has, and you're like, I want that. But that actually is obscuring your view from what God has actually intended for you, or what is destined for you on this planet. And so, yeah.
I was chatting to Francois from otinga.io, and he said something similar with regards to gratitude, how gratitude is amazing. You see people going to America, you see people going to Australia, England, and you're like, I want this too. And then you fixate your mind on the things that you don't have so much that you forget you have clean water to drink. You have Wi-Fi, you've got
fresh
electricity.
Air. And I mean, this place, Rosebank, the headquarters of Melsoft Academy, it's so lovely to be here. You have such beautiful, beautiful infrastructure. And these things are things that, even in America, it's beautiful, but enjoy it wherever you are. Because the world is so big. I've been to a lot of countries. I've been to like over 8 countries. And what I've realized is everywhere you go, there's something good there. So cherish it there before you say you want to skip on to the next.
Yeah. Thank you. And also thank you for sharing your journey. Thank you for acknowledging that everything that you have achieved is from the Creator, God, Jesus Christ, right? Thank you so much for acknowledging that. It's not many young people that you meet that are on fire for God, and certainly not many young people that you meet that will give acknowledgement and credit to God. But I also want to give you some credit. Because you didn't, you said this school had thousands of applications and only 70 people could get in, and you got in. And then when you were at the school, you produced results. We always know Laurice A on everything, right? So you also put in the work. You also have raw natural talent in you, but you also back it up with work.
Thank you.
So you have to give yourself some credit also for getting you to where you are.
I received that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I received that.
Incredible. So tell me about Melsoft Academy. So you finished your high school. Then whilst you were applying for university in America, you started this thing called Melsoft Academy.
Yeah.
Tell us more about that.
You know exactly what happened. You know exactly how it got started. But okay, fine. We'll talk about it. Well, Melsoft Academy was always something that my brother here wanted to do. It's not a secret. And at some point, I remember I had a choice between choosing to go to a trip with my friends to Mozambique or to go back to South Africa with my brother. And literally on our way back with my brother, we were like, okay, now we're finally starting this thing. We're finally starting to work on the platform. And I remember those days where there was no one paying us at the time. We're just scraping and surviving. And God was with us, and things just kept on going and rolling. I think one of the biggest things that I'll say to anyone out there is the biggest thing that you can do towards your idea is to start doing it. Start doing, no matter at what capacity, no matter at what great lengths you would say you are, just start doing it. Because once you start, that's the only way that you're going to know if it's going to work out. And so I was just glad that I had my brother, I had you, you know, to do it with, and you were guiding me and you were telling me, okay, do this. I learned a lot in that time. That 8 months, I grew a lot. And also just being already a co-founder at such a young age is something that I don't take lightly. It's something that I realize wherever I'm going, I'm representing a living, breathing community.
Yeah.
And that's what Melsoft Academy is. I mean, I'm seeing some of the students here walking past, and it's a community. It's a place where people are welcome. It's a place where people are encouraged to try new things, to be bold, to grow. And so that's something that I'm very passionate about, to be in here. And I mean, the whole purpose of Melsoft Academy, what we're trying to achieve is youth unemployment is at an all-time high. We have 2 out of 3 youth being unemployed, and at the same time, about 91% of business owners say that they can't find the right tech person in their company. And so we have those 2 unique problems that we meet in the middle and cater to. So that was also brilliant. And that time was, frankly speaking, probably one of the greatest time periods of my life. I enjoyed that a lot.
It was so much fun, bro.
It was so much fun.
It was a lot of
hard work.
Every single day.
Every single day. And like, I would tell you, we would sleep hours that were insane. Sometimes I would stay in the office overnight working and do the next day up until 9 in the night, just in this building. It was insane.
Yeah.
But now when you look at it, I mean, I then went to America for the last 9 months, my brother, and now these brilliant young people that we have, like Aiden, he's one of the most exciting young talents that we have at Melsoft Academy. Kenelo is up there. Mnelisi is a legend. It's like Mamelo has a bot. Gladman Sibanda, it's like the team is being built and it's shaping up so well. So I love the mentors that we have here. On top of that, the students are also sharp and bright. And honestly, I could say I have the best of both continents, if I'm being honest, because whichever continent I'm in, I'm constantly enjoying what I'm doing. And now it's exciting because we can finally push Melsoft Academy into the United States of America.
Yeah,
that's
the shackles are lifted now. Tell us, because there are people that, that joined Melsoft after you left, right? Mm-hmm. They don't know you. A lot of them don't know you because you couldn't. Please explain to the people why you couldn't and why are you now here? Why are you now back?
So it wasn't negligence. I love you all, trust me. And I'm actually meeting with the students, each and every one of them, and the stories are lovely. So definitely that's a core part of all of this, the people. I love the people in Melsoft. What was happening was that I entered the United States of America on what is called an F1 visa. So what that is a visa that allows you to study in the United States of America. With that comes some law that you have to abide to. One being that you cannot work for anything outside your university for the first 1 year. This is to ensure that you are settling well, you're a student. We want you to do work, but only within the university. And what you have is what is called, after that, you are allowed to work under what is called a CPT, which is basically more training for you for whatever subject that you have. So you have an OPT and a CPT. So now I can work for Melsoft on the CPT or OPT because after 1 year, I've elapsed my 1 year and I'm working on something that aligns with the degree that I'm studying. And so it depends how you want to enter America. If you're entering as a tourist, you cannot start a business as a tourist. But if you're entering as a student, you have some set of laws that you can follow, but it's something that you can do. Another way that you can enter is through marrying an American. If something happens, you meet an American in Cape Town, you get married.
Is that one of your plans as well?
No, no.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So tell us as a 21-year-old or 20-year-old at the time, when you started Melsoft Academy at 20 years old, what are some of the biggest challenges that you faced as a young man starting such a big business?
Well, definitely something that I'll say is how I related to the people that were my age. because at the time, I had a huge chunk of my time that I was just dedicating to this one sole thing, Melsoft Academy, that I didn't have any time to go out with my friends, party with my friends, go for the sport tournaments that we had. So in the way, I've disappointed a lot of my friends in not giving them enough of me as a person and my presence.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, you have to, it's like going up on a hike. When you go up on a hike, my brother, we went on a hike in Cape Town last week, and he packed a bag with a 2-liter bottle of water and like
Just trying to be careful.
some chocolate, some 2-liter grape juice. And it's like a matter of how much stuff do you go with on something as difficult as a hike. And so friends, in as much as they're lovely, they have a weight that comes to them. True. Relationships too, you know, they have a weight that comes with that. So it's like okay, right now you are 16 and you're watching this, you're 18, you're watching this, and you're thinking, I want to get to the top. How are you going to do that? You have to decide what you're packing to go to the top with. So if you're packing, your list is, you have Mr. Larreth Jimu on your side, you have people that are rooted and but are very much interested in your success as a person. You're going to make it as compared to a person who just wants to goof off and have fun. I'm not saying don't goof off and have fun. I'm saying pick wisely what you prioritize, especially at the age that you're in.
Yeah.
So that's something that I would say I got an opportunity to do. Also being with Larreth helped because he's older, he has more experience, you have more experience, and it's something that was easier for me because it's just you were giving me the opportunities to play, and from there I would grow, you know? And so having a mentor is something I can't even express it, but having a mentor is also extremely important. And so, yeah, those two things I think I would say were things that as a 20-year-old helped me go through.
Yeah, incredible. I'd like to reiterate on what you just said. Firstly, you, like what you said earlier, you are the average of the 5 people that you spend most of your time with.
Yeah.
That is absolutely true.
Yeah.
If you spend your time with people that are thinking about ideas and that are executing ideas, it's a lot better place to be as opposed to be sitting with people that are just thinking about what are we doing this Friday night.
Exactly.
So I highly encourage everyone who's watching this or listening to this, you need to be extremely careful of the people that you spend most of your time with. They'll either make you or break you.
Yeah.
Cut them out. If someone, there's this exercise that's done in Harvard and Stanford. They say write your top 5 goals that you want to achieve in your life, and then after you've done that, write a list of all the people that you spent at least 30 minutes with over the last week, and then compare each person and see how they impact one of your goals. If that person does not impact any of your top 5 goals, you need to cut them out.
Wow.
And then that's when you'll just see it's easy now who to spend time with.
Yeah.
So I'm really sorry, but I'm about to cut you out of my life.
Well, it's the last time you'll be seeing me here. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then also another thing that you mentioned about, okay, we'll cut this part out. So that's all, right? So, anything else that you mentioned? We can wrap it up.
I'll be here for the next 2 months, so I'll be talking to you a lot. I look forward to engaging you a lot.
All right, so wait, so we're gonna cut this part out, and then let's just go to the last part. What can be the last part?
I don't know, Aiden, do you have? Oh, you have something. Okay.
So outside of Melsoft Academy, what are some of the things that you're currently working on in a personal capacity?
Well, outside of Melsoft Academy, on a personal capacity, I have a Bible study that I lead that's been going really well. That's been something that I've been pursuing, and it's been changing my life a lot. That's been going really well. What other thing am I currently working on? Well, school. Yeah. I am in college, and as of right now, at Macalester College, I'm currently studying four different subject matters: economics, data science, computer science, and Spanish. And so that has been a lot of fun. It's been a challenge. People mistake American education as easy, but it is a challenge. And that's something that I've been working on as well. And I've been just trying to improve myself as a person. I'm going to the gym. I'm working out again. I'm back. And I bought a ball, so I'm going to be playing some soccer just to keep myself fit. I also want to take up running. My brother got me some really nice shoes, some really nice running shoes, so I have to try those out. And yeah, just cherishing each day as it comes. My family, my dog. My dog was sick the last 2 days, but
he missed you.
But he's fine now. So just caring for the people around me is what I'm doing currently.
And what are the things that people can expect from Laurice Jimu after he's out of McAllister College?
I prefer not to speak. I prefer to let the results do the speaking. So, yeah, you follow me for the next 4 years and say where we are.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Laurice. Thank you for that very inspirational chat. A lot of people want to be you. They want to be like you, or they want to have what you have. So seeing you actually achieve these things will definitely inspire a lot of people. Some people might be jealous, some people might hate on you, but I always say that if you're not getting haters, you're not picking up haters, then that
you're
means
not really
you're not doing anything in life.
Even Jesus Christ had haters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So keep it up, keep working, keep pushing. I'll always be here to make sure that you are grafting. As long as you're around me, you know
I am always
you have to work.
It's a bit of a Friday night. You're chilling. Hey, did you do this? I'm like,
yeah.
these people are serious.
Cool. So thank you so much, Laurice. Thank you so much. See you on the next episode, guys.
Thank you.
Awesome.